can't.
All right, I got it. We're live.
Hey y'all. What you sipping on tonight?
Girl, it's, you don't even want to know.
Oh, okay.
It's coffee.
Oh, okay. Is it coffee really?
Girl, I'm a coffee addict.
At night?
Yeah, I got shit to do at night.
Oh, okay. No, like I know that they exist. I know people who drink coffee at night exist. I never thought you were one of those people.
I didn't think I was one of those people either, girl. I didn't think so either. But here we are. Here we are, where I have at least 2 cups of coffee a day, or I'm not going to function properly.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I know. Ugh, God, I'm addicted to caffeine.
Well, I'm pulling up something that I want to talk about tonight. Should have been more prepared. I'm trying to find the amount. Anyways, I guess we could just hop right on into it.
The amount? What's going on?
Well, yeah, like the lawsuit amount.
Oh, okay. Like you're about to give us.
I was trying to get like the exact amount, but
it's a lot. We could
just estimate. So what we're about to get into is the defamation case against Tasha K from Cardi B. Cardi B sued Tasha K. For those of you who do not know Tasha K, she is I don't know, what would you call her? Like a podcaster, a YouTuber?
She is a YouTuber.
What's the title?
Slash, I would just say she is like a blogger, but on a bigger platform, like Wendy Williams, but for YouTube. She does interviews. She's very, very messy. She comes very hard at celebrities. She
that is her style.
That's her style, basically. She's like the Inquirer back in the day, when the Inquirer would just put anything out and you wouldn't even believe it, really. That's kind of what her channel is known for. Far-fetched. Yeah, that's what her channel is known for on YouTube. Yeah.
So anyways, so that's who Tasha K is. And Cardi B sued Tasha K. It is no secret that Cardi B has had this ongoing battle with Tasha K against things that Tasha K has put in the media, put out there for all of us to tune into. Some of it has been what I would say is things that we all knew anyway through other means of, social media. It could be the Shade Room. It could be Hollywood Report. It could be anything. And, but then there was stuff where, it was only, in my mind, I would feel like Tasha K kind of heard it first. And so she would release it. So
she has broken a lot of stories. Like, I mean, I know a lot of her stuff is unprovable because it's like hearsay, but some of her shit, I heard it from her channel first. And then it went really big, like on Shade Room.
Then it goes big.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So so Cardi B and her have always gone kind of back and forth. There's been reports that, Cardi B, Tasha K was no longer even able to report on Cardi B. Like, I mean, really, there's been things with Cardi B in the media where Cardi B has had a lot of people's stuff taken down or reported. And so, Cardi just don't play, apparently. So in recent news, we learned that Tasha K was sued by Cardi B, and she actually lost this case. Not only did she lose the case, but she also is to pay Cardi B near $4 million in damages and pain and suffering. So this is pretty big. Apparently, I guess from what I was told and what I read from the snapshot, the fine line between the actual just reporting what everybody kind of already knows and then what was found amongst in this particular lawsuit was the fact that Tasha K was reporting things that she admittedly knowingly knew were not true. Tasha K and the reports in the case had even said, I knew that Cardi B did not have this STD and I still reported it. I knew that she didn't and I still reported it. And apparently that was the fine line from we all have free speech, freedom of speech, whatever. We can, we should be able to say things. But on the other hand, that was where that line got crossed. And that's how Cardi was able to win in this particular instance. So I think this changes things a lot for YouTubers and podcasters, and the way in which now we're all going to have to be able to report things. I'm not saying that, people aren't going to be able to still be them and do what they do, but I do think that this case is kind of like, I'm going to make an example out of this.
Yeah, for sure. It sets precedents for future cases. So they're going to refer to this if anything were to happen in the future. But the thing about it, like you said, Tasha K admitted her own guilt, because when all the allegations had come out initially about Cardi B having herpes or whatever, the allegedly, it came from an interview that Tasha K had did with one of Cardi B's former girls she used to dance with and hustle with, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? So when the information had first leaked, it leaked on her platform, but Tasha K fucked up because after the interview had went viral, because Cardi B had came at her and her people tried to get her to take down the video, Tasha K got mad and was like, yeah, I don't care if she's lying or not. Yeah, I don't believe her. She probably is lying. I think she is lying, but I'm still going to do it, bitch. Like, she kind of did it so arrogantly. So it's kind of just like, had she just kept her, and you can kind of tell now if you go to her page, she's kind of gotten back to her original thing, which is just kind of interviewing people, because you let that stuff come out the horse's mouth. And it's just like, I'm just the medium for that. Like us, for instance, we don't really break no news over here. We talk about news that has already been broken. We talk about shit that's already out. So it's just like, she played herself, because at first she was just breaking what other people were saying, allegedly or not. But when she got her personal emotions involved, she started to let things seep out of spite, and it bit her in her ass. It just bit her in her ass, because a lot of things, like when it comes to like TMZ and stuff, you know what I'm saying? They don't release anything until they have a source to blame it on. They're not going to say we broke something. They'd say we have a source that told us.
Right.
They always going to have
sources close to Kim K. Sources close to so-and-so. It's always sources.
Exactly. Tasha took it personally, and instead of refraining, you know what I'm saying? What do you call it? Objective. And it's just like, I don't care which way it goes. She got really personal with it and put her own opinions in on it, and was like, yeah, I don't think it's real, and I don't care if it's fake, and I'm still going to put it out, and there's nothing you could do about it. It was just like a spiteful thing. And she didn't think Cardi B was really going to push it to the level that she pushed it to. And all I got to say is, from what I've heard about the court cases and Cardi B's testimony, I'm just going to say, yes, I feel for the girl, but at the same time, it's kind of just like, Cardi was laying it on thick. Like, I do not think this situation really affected Cardi B's life to the point where she lost money, or like the relationship between her and her man, because it's like that relationship was already flawed. You've already been beating up girls because your man's been cheating publicly. Like, the good lawyers. I think she just was trying to make an example.
I think she was presented with the opportunity to really like do something that she felt she really could win. And, here we are.
Yeah, because she said they said she was crying in court, and she said that this whole situation messed up the physical relationship between her and Offset. Like, she didn't feel comfortable having sex with him. She didn't feel like she was a good mother to her child. She said that she was depressed. She couldn't get out of bed. Like, she said it was a lot, specifically because of Tasha K, why she had all this pain and suffering. And I'm just like, I don't know how much of that was specifically Tasha K, or the fact of Tasha K was only talking about you and your mess because your man was out here running them up and everybody was talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
yeah. And that's one of the things
you know?
Well, and that's one of the things that I will never understand is how we as individuals, specifically women, we will put attention, we will be so upset with the other woman, with someone speaking about your business, you know, and all these things, and we're just so hurt and we're so like, oh my God, but we're not mad enough to be or to leave a situation. You may leave, but you always come back. You may even have another, you know, like it's just really it's really alarming to me, because I'm like, even when it comes to, and this is just me generally speaking, if I was voluntarily participating in a relationship that was already on stilts and rocky, and you know, somehow it got out, you know, that, you know, my business is out there, whatever the case may be, I may feel a little bit worse about it, just because I'm like, okay, it's now beyond just our household. But I can't really say like that person then makes me, you know, crazy, suicidal, all these things, because it's not you who did that to me. It's the person I'm with that actually did the behavior for you to even discuss.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like all that was
so it's
just
like, I'm mad
ignored.
at you for talking about it, and now I'm, you know, having to do therapy, and I'm questioning my life and my choices and all these things, but I'm not questioning my choices with the person that I'm with.
That's causing me to be in these headlines.
That's causing me to be crazy. That's causing me to be depressed. Like, I'm just really lost in that. I don't think I'll ever understand it.
Yeah, that's what's really crazy to me. But, you know, she has good lawyers, of course. And Tasha was a fool to not settle out of court. Like, I don't know what she was thinking about. I don't know what type of representation she got. You know, people also have been talking in the street.
Do you think she has that money? Because everybody says she makes a lot of money. Then you have people saying, no, she ain't got. I mean, she's good, but
I think she has seen that much money. I don't want to put my hands in her pockets. I don't know if she's been saving, investing, or whatever, but I know they said her house is worth at least like 1.3 or something, a house she had just bought like in the last few years. So for all I know, I don't know. I'm sure she has enough to come up with some sort of payment plan that she could work something out. I'm sure that's probably not an issue. The bigger issue really is just her endorsement deals, her sponsorships, because she has a lot of those. And hopefully, I know she said she took down the videos that Cardi B was like upset about, but hopefully they don't go any further and she may have to like take down her whole channel or nothing like that, because then that would be that'd be crazy, you know. But I mean, it's a blessing and a curse, because like now Tasha K is so widely known, like who knows what opportunities may come. Even if it's infamously, you know what I'm saying? Like good or bad publicity is still publicity. So you just never know.
Well, and when you really think about it too, when you really think about things, it's like, you know, even the Wendy Williams, you know, Wendy had to walk so we all could run, you know, meaning, and I say that to say like Wendy was by no means, even to this day, she's not really liked because of her style and for the things that she speaks about and all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure she has been sued for different things, because you know she was the first one to kind of even break out in this type of thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So, you know, again, it doesn't always have to be end all be all. This could be a really great thing for Tasha.
But it's also just like we're in this new day and age. Like the 90s is so far gone, because it's just like back in the day, bro, they could say whatever the fuck they wanted to say about you. Like, you know how many crazy headlines we read about like Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and just everybody.
It was more, I think no it was proof. More so back. Well, and I think it was more so too back then. It's like if it did get out, we waiting on you outside to beat your ass, or I'm gonna have my cousin. I may not do it, but I'm gonna have Tito and my cousin and them. You know, act crazy.
Who was it? Was it like Total or one of those groups wanted to jump Wendy Wendell?
Yeah, girl, it was ready to beat her ass. There ain't no telling who else. You know, amongst all that was just in the scene. But I'm sure, because, you know, back then it was all about blows. It was like, you know, I'm beat you up and fuck you up. You know,
I know.
Nowadays we run to social media. We're crying on social media. We're telling the fans all of this stuff instead of dealing with the source directly. It's different.
Girl, like shit is crazy.
It's different now.
Because I honestly feel like, I mean, of course, in the long run, Cardi B won because she got her little 3.8 million, which is really, Cardi B just did that to piss her off, because
She wanted it was the principle for
what's
her.
3 million
it
for
was
Cardi
not
B?
the money.
It was the principle, right? Exactly. But it's like, I hope it was worth it for her, because it's just like, I feel like had she just ignored it, would we even be talking about it? You know what I'm saying? Would anybody even remember it? Had Cardi B just never even reached out to Tasha K, never talked to Tasha K, it's like she would just be another one of these million YouTubers, and nobody would even think twice about it. So it's kind of just like her engaging with Tasha K kind of just made it larger than what it really had to be.
Well, and I feel like too, on top of that, just to add to what you just said, it's almost kind of like, was it? I mean, I guess it was bothering you that bad for you to like, you really are losing sleep. You really might be stressed the fuck out. Even though we as a generation have moved on from this news, like you are still like,
yeah,
you've had a whole nother baby with him. You survived breakups, divorces, well, on the brink of divorce. Like you have your marriage and relationship has withstood hell.
Yeah.
Over and over again. So for whatever Tasha K's involvement in all of this is, she really must be on your mind heavy, because that
lets me know she was watching her ass. She watched everything she ever said about her, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna get this bitch.
I mean, you just could not sleep until you got this bitch under the grave at this point. So again, I stand corrected. This probably bothered you. This probably was worse to you than anything Offset has ever done.
Yeah, but it's just like, if you think about it, I just feel like the only way you can really get that pissed about something is if it's like some truth to it. Like if somebody is saying some far-fetched shit, it's just like, okay. But it's like, yeah, like, okay, I'm like Candy, like, okay, I'm in a dungeon. You know what I'm saying? But if she wasn't in a dungeon, it was a joke. So she turned it into like a profitable thing. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, a little jokey joke. It's not, I don't know. It's just Cardi B still is deeply hurt by what happened to her, and I hope that situation's in the past. But yeah, it's a lesson learned. Tasha K learned her lesson, and Cardi B, I hope this never happens again, like the embarrassment, because clearly, social media really, really affects her. Yeah.
I mean, I've always said I don't want to be famous. I don't.
Yeah. Who knows how that feels? Yeah.
I don't care to have it. I don't want it. I really don't want fame. If there was ever a time that I wanted fame, if there ever was a time
in the 90s,
these days, I do not want fame. It would have been 90s, 80s. Like it would have been around that time when it was really cool to be famous. Now it's just, you literally could just speak on somebody, it blows up, and now you Gorilla Glue girl.
Now you go down in history.
I mean, the title, the requirement to be famous and to be known. She was pissed that I think she reached out to Cardi or Nicki Minaj's team because she didn't want to hop on a track with her. And it's just like, girl, you are known for Gorilla Glue. Like, why would Nicki Minaj want to be on a track? I'm done.
You see what I'm saying? This is why I don't believe in nothing. Because you can't tell me Gorilla Glue girl did not plan this. Like, I'm sorry. This was for clouds. And to get out there. But girl,
I mean, people back, at least what I will say is, for our generation, I feel as though we were the last generation to really appreciate the true essence of 90s, 80s, all of the, like, we understand it. We're not, we understand it.
And once we leave the 1900s, it's over.
What it means to actually have talent, what it means to actually have an expectation to rise above, to even when I think about American Idol, you know, just the purity of that show, like, you know, from reality TV to now we're doing other kind of crazy shit. Like, it's just become crazier and crazier. And I feel like, you know, the more people do crazy shit, the more we support it. You know what I mean? We don't want a good Whitney Houston, you know, we want a train wreck who just has a good beat. You know what I mean? Like, it's just real, it's weird, it's really weird times right now. It's real weird.
Talking about weird and talking about, you know, artists from way back when,
Yeah.
I got to mention all this Britney Spears shit. I am just Britney has had enough. Okay. Britney has had a motherfucking enough.
Girl, I don't want to say take social media from her because she's had everything taken away and stripped from her. But Britney,
I don't know when this started or what happened, but all I know is when damn Jamie Lynn Spears, her little sister, got her ass up on that interview. I don't know what she said on the interview. I only saw a few clips. I don't know, but it pissed Britney the fuck off enough where she went to social media and she let everything out from way back when. She said she'd been working her ass off for her whole family. They ain't never let her have a break. And now they want to be selling stories for books. She said she should slap both of them, her and the mama, in their fucking faces. I said, oh my God, Britney. Girl, I was too through. I read every last word of that too.
I did too. And I feel like every time she posts something, it's a dissertation because she has a lot she has to get out.
Girl, I hope she has someone close to her that she can depend on because her mental health is at an alarming place right now. You know what I'm saying? If she feels like her whole family has turned against her, as funny as it may be, and it is funny that she's going the fuck off on them, and I'm sure they deserve it in some right. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what happens, especially with these childhood stars and a lot of these families, they use their kids to make all this damn money, and then the kids have these, you know, frayed relationships. My thing is, who is there with her? Because I know she was in a conservatory ship or something. I think she got let go. I don't know what the situation is there, but I just feel like she has no one around her. If she's not talking to her mama, she's not talking to her sister, who does she have? Like, I'm worried for Britney. You know?
We all are.
We grew up on her. She's a 90s icon. And everyone that I grew up on in the 90s is just, I hold very dear to my heart. And I don't want nothing. We're seeing crazy headlines every day. I do not want to see anything crazy has happened to Britney Spears. Crazier than what's already been going on.
You know, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know what the proper, okay, let me preface it with this. I don't know what it's like, one, to have fame, two, to have fame at the level of Britney Spears at her plight. Like, I don't know, too many people who didn't like Britney Spears of any nationality.
Yeah.
I love Britney Spears. And so, you know, we loved her. She was what she called the pop princess, the princess of pop, or whatever her label was. She was great. She was huge. And then it was kind of like we saw her spiral a little bit or a lot, you know, when she shaved her head. We saw, but you know, there's a lot of people that do crazy shit, right? There's a lot of rock stars, pop. So we all kind of be like, damn, that's fucked up. And then we kind of move on. And then we kind of just didn't see her. And then it was like she was in this conservatorship. And then, you know, and so now I feel like within the last year, it was brought to the media again, like, you know, she's in the conservatorship. We want to release her from it. And then now she's released because we all were like, this is messed up, which it was. Like, the stuff that, from what I read, that her dad was doing and her family was doing, it seemed like she didn't really have anybody in her corner. That's what it seemed like to me. She didn't have anybody in her corner because she could not make literally any decisions. And I don't even know how many years she was in the conservatorship, but to me, in my mind, I picture it as if someone is in isolation in jail when they put you on punishment and you go down to the dungeon because you can't be around the general population. Like, even if you're not crazy, that would make a sane person crazy to like have everything stripped away. You can't have any access to anything. You can't do anything. And so I'm torn from, ever since I've known about the case and, you know, kind of got a little bit more into it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so wrong. She needs to be free. Like, this is fucked up. But then now that I see her out in the public, I'm like, I wish that there was some sort of like transition. So to your point, like, who in her life is like a true friend? Who in her life could she really trust? And I'm not talking about her boyfriend, or because, you know, I would be skeptical of anybody next to Britney Spears just because she's only had people to take in my mind that have been family and close and all the things. So I'm thinking like, I wish that she had somebody, and she might, this is me just thinking, I wish she had like a transition where you got out of the conservatorship, but you also had something or someone like a transition plan where you're kind of like introduced back into reality. Like,
she just needs to get her, she needs like therapy or something, or get into her spirituality, something, anything. But I just feel like my whole thing with the conservatorship or whatever the hell it's called, it's just like they only do shit like this when you have money. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't try to do this to your broke family members who going through some mentally hard times. You know what I'm saying? You only want to take away their fucking rights and control them when you can control that damn bank account. And it's just like, it says a lot that even if the court order is not there, that just as family members, they're just not supporting her. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they could be bitter because maybe they don't have access to her money right now. It could be a lot of stuff going on, but I just feel like money has a lot to do with it, unfortunately. So
always,
she probably don't have nobody really she can trust.
And that's what I'm saying. It just sucks because if you, and this is what I say about people, not even Britney Spears, I say this about people who, especially like athletes or people who go from like, you know, just you're regular and you're just now famous. You know, you're always going to have people around you when you have money. You know, people are just going to be around. And even if you don't have money, if you have the fame, if you have power, you know, you're always going to have people, which I feel like are your yes people. But you always, everyone should have their core 1 or 2 and maybe 5, whoever it is that kept you grounded when you were on the come up, if they hadn't already left or, you know, whatever, fallen out with you. But it always helps when you have those few people on your rise up. So that way they're like, you know, they kind of keep you grounded. And a lot of times people don't have that. You either fell out before you made it because of their own projections, or
money and success changes people. Like even us, like at our small level of success, like, I mean, we're successful in our own right.
It's the people that see, but and I feel like it's the people that see your potential. So like we don't have the money yet. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not, you know, but just even the trajectory of things can make people nervous. Like, oh, I'm so used to this person. Yeah, that's what I agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
Imagine,
so I get it.
Imagine I get it. On a larger, imagine you were the fucking number one, whatever, for however many years, making bukus and bukus of money. Like I can only imagine how many people you fall out with. Like I mean,
I don't have that many people in my life anyway. So if I did make it, I wouldn't have a lot more people to fall out with because I'm already down to this many.
Right. But even not even falling out, people coming into your life with like,
exactly.
Do they want to really stick with me, or do they just
they
looking for
it's a whole new thing? Yeah. But but when I see people that were friends, like, and I can say for Rihanna and her best friend, I think her name was Melissa.
Yeah.
When I do see that, I'm always so nice. Like, that's real as hell. That's real as fuck, because you don't, some people just but they don't have that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure no matter how famous, and it's not because Melissa wants to be Rihanna, Like they're friends because they're friends. Like I don't want your life. I truly support you.
She's a real one. She's literally a real one because after all these years, she has never chased clout for Rihanna. She has never done played anything.
Her part, Rihanna, and every time I'm sure Rihanna has gone through something, whatever, it's always like, this is my girl. I feel back at home. Like I feel like I know I'm Rihanna now, but when I'm with her, I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Homegirl. And I think,
and it just sucks that, like I said, I wish Britney had someone like that because and anybody with fame, you know, a lot of people probably have it, but there's a lot that don't. So, and Britney Spears, from my opinion, I feel like she doesn't have anybody.
I know it seems that way, girl.
She might, but I think she's just so far gone based on this isolation of all these years.
Yeah.
She's probably still stuck in the Britney that she was locked up at.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
But what I can say from what I'm reading, she doesn't sound crazy. Like I can follow what she's saying. I feel what she's saying. She just sounds very emotional, like in a rage. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't seem like far-fetched what she's saying.
It doesn't seem far-fetched, but it also doesn't seem all the way like she got all her marbles either. Like, sure.
It sounds like when you're angry texting, you know, when you're angry texting and you're misspelling things, but it's like you have a point, and it's like the specific things that she was bringing up. It was like things that she probably been wanting to say for a long time because they were very specific to like shit that happened in the past. So
I just need I just need her to get these raccoon eyes together with this mascara and this eyeliner. You know, at this point, I don't even care. Like, just clean that up, because when you be posting these pictures with you're fully naked and you got your nipples like this and you got running
I forgot about the pictures. I forgot all about
psycho. You look psycho. You don't look well.
Girl, I forgot all about the pictures. I ain't gonna lie.
She doesn't look stable. So if she can just
now the pictures are questionable. The pictures
if you can call Makeup by Mario Kim, help her out. I don't know,
but she be dancing and stuff. I could say that she still is, you know, moving and active. She'd be doing her little two-step, you know, the Britney thing, and I think that's always good. But
I don't think that she has left the time that she got locked. She got her rights taken away. I think she is still mentally in that state.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't even know how to operate and exist in this new world because she's been sheltered. So she's just trying to acclimate herself to all this. But in her mind, she's still going, you know, so dance has always been a part of her. So of course she probably was dancing this whole time because it's an outlet for her, you know. So just all I can just clean. You got all the money. You got all the money, clean it up. I want to see the Britney, you know, that way when you do come out and you do start to go off on all these rants, the look and the everything will kind of, you know what I mean? But you can't look disheveled and be out here just going, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
Y'all just pray for Britney, y'all. Just pray for Britney.
Prayers. Love. And I still, even with the stuff, I still love her. I love Britney. Don't have a problem with Britney. Play her little doo-wop pops. I'm still stuck back there too. Love her and Justin. Like, I love that era.
Yeah. God bless her. Praying for her. Oh Lord, who else we praying for? I also want to mention Regina King's son. Prayers up to her and her son. You know, he committed suicide, unfortunately, like earlier this week or last week. And it's very tragic. I think he's like 26 years old. So still very young. And, you know, you sent me the story earlier of the former Miss USA. I believe her name is Chesley Christ or something like that. Christ. I'm
Yes.
not sure how to pronounce her name, but
it's Chelsea Chris. I think you were right the first one.
yeah, she also unfortunately committed suicide and jumped from a building in New York. Yeah, she was one of the most recent Black Miss USA's, I think, in 2019.
Miss USA of 2019. Yep.
So
she
sad.
From she was only 30.
Yeah, only 30
Chelsea
years old.
Chelsea Christ, 30 years old, lawyer.
Yeah, she was a practicing attorney,
still
like
practicing,
very accomplished and
very accomplished.
Oh, it's just very sad.
And I think and she jumped from a 29th floor building, her apartment building in New York. And her last post, this was what got me, was her last post. It's so eerie.
Girl.
She posted 14 hours ago, a selfie or like a beautiful headshot, that the caption read, "May this day bring you rest and peace." So one can assume that she posted this and it coincided with moments later her jumping off of the building.
She wrote a note and everything.
She did write a note. She left a note saying that she wanted all her belongings to be given to her mother. In the note, they did say that there was no motive written as to why she was about to do what she did. But from what I read too, she's apparently been dealing with mental illness and depression for years. She even said something about, to kind of counter that, she would always get up at 6:45 and go work out. Like, she would have a rigorous schedule that helped kind of take her mind, like, as long as she was busy and she kind of kept to the schedule, which makes sense, right? Like, because everybody tells you that. They're like, okay, distract yourself, think positive, change your mindset, do something for you, makes you feel good. So I can kind of understand why she would maybe be like, this is what I need to do, so I don't have time to think about whatever. But you just never know what people are going through. And shout out to Regina King. She's in our prayers as well. Like you said, her son Ian died committing suicide, as you just mentioned. And my God, I think he was 29 or something like that too. Like, he was in his 20s, I think. 26. Whole life ahead. He was the only child. So, oh my God, I can't even imagine, and I don't know. It's real out here. It's getting more real because of, like we talked about in previous shows, COVID has not helped. If anything, it's isolated more people. Some people love the isolation. I've talked to several people that are like, I live my life this way anyway. This is just already how I was living anyway. And then you had some people that they kind of thrived off human interaction and family gatherings, or just gatherings in general. And then, we kind of went in this like quarantine phase, and there's people that have been alone, and lonely and alone. And so just don't know what people are doing. So I don't know. I just say be kind. I think I just would say be kind to everybody, because, I also think that, and my sister and I were just talking about this the other day, about giving people compliments. She's always like, Mia, as much as I tease you about giving everybody compliments, because she's like, she teases me. Sometimes I'll give somebody compliments. She'll be like, Mia, now they look a mess, or but she's like, one thing I will say, you give compliments just freely. Like, it could be anything. You just give compliments freely. And I'm like, the reason I do it, I don't even realize I do it, because I don't do it to be like for a motive, but I do like making people feel good. And if you ever notice, when you give somebody a compliment, especially someone who may not anticipate a compliment or whatever, to see them smile or just do it. For those of you out there who aren't naturally like that, if you just walk up to someone like, your hair is just so beautiful. Somebody who's just like one track mind, they'll just be like, they're like, thank you. Like, it just does something for people sometimes, and you just never know. I had a girlfriend who said that her mom never said she loved her. She wasn't complimentary, and she never said, I love you. She said she always knew her mom loved her because of her actions, but she never heard it. And that was like, what? I'm like, what? My mom and me, girl, I can't, I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, I can't even fathom that because that's your mom. How could she not? What do you mean you've never? And that's why she never complimented people. She's like, I never received it, so I never thought to do it. And she's like, it was an intentional training for me because I learned that, how I was brought up. But I say all that to say, you just don't know what people go through. And, certain things go a long way. And I'm not saying a compliment will save somebody from jumping or doing something, but, we already have enough slander out here. The world just needs more love, honey. The world just needs more love. So.
Yeah, it's really sad. Oh, mental health is very, very important, and spiritual health too, because I just feel like people just don't have anything to believe in anymore, and people don't really believe in stuff anymore, and that's sad. Not to say I don't know what anyone's beliefs were, but I just feel like an overall hopelessness when it comes.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, it's an overall
that's a good word.
And it's just like, I don't know. It's sad. Like, I mean, it is good to, of course, to compliment people and everything, but sometimes it's really like, it don't matter how much you say good things to people. Like, if they don't feel that way about themselves, it's just like, it's nothing you can do. And it's just so sad because I know that like the people really close to them, they're going to feel like a lot of guilt, and that's a hard process to go through. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. To have to like,
but I also think too, if you're close, if you have in your inner circle, I think that in general, even if you're, for instance, Regina King and her son, I think that no matter how much she loved him and no matter how much she was there around him and supported him and uplifted him, to your point, he was already just probably so far gone in certain moments that nothing really could have. And I think after people do commit suicide, you always kind of have, I don't know anybody, knock on wood, that has committed suicide that's been close to me. But what I would say is that I can only imagine somebody feeling guilty about, oh my God, what did I not do something? Was I not there for them? Did I not, see the signs and all these kinds of other things? And I think that no matter what you do, whether it's a compliment, whether it's, being supportive or whatever the case, to your point, yes, people are already, depending on their situation, people can just be so far gone and it's just deeper than anybody can help. But, definitely check on people as much as you can. I saw a meme the other day that said, make sure you tell your friends that you love them, like make it weird, like say it so much that it's weird almost, you know what I mean? Because the minute someone's gone, they're just gone. You can't say anything to them. So I don't know. I don't know. I had a friend that choked me in my sleep, and I think that, well, I know she suffered from depression and all these other kind of things, but she also suffered, I don't even know what you would call that, but she would sleepwalk. She definitely suffered from depression because she, admitted it, and she, was on medication for certain things. But yeah, I woke up, like I was in a nice sleep, like peacefully sleeping. And I woke up to her with her hands around me on my neck. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh my God. And she just started running around the house. And like,
I feel like I remember hearing this. This is a long time
ago. Yeah, this was a long time ago. This was like in 2013. 2012,
10 years ago.
But some of that stuff is very traumatic. Like that type of stuff you just don't I mean, it's trauma for the person that's doing it. But if you've ever been around somebody and have witnessed certain things, it can be very traumatic. I mean, we also had an experience where we came into it with like a cop when we were on our way to Dallas, and we got pulled over by this cop, and it was this whole thing. And he was actually a Black cop, which was so crazy because I'm like, I didn't expect this from you, And my friend, she just lost it. She just like, once he let us go, like she just lost it, like to the point where she was about to do something to herself. And it was like, it was beyond anything I could even control. Like, I didn't know who to call other than her mom. And I'm like, what? Like, I can't calm her. I don't know what to do. And this was the same friend that had her hands on my throat. So I don't know. You just never know. You just never know, child. People act out in different ways. People just act out in different ways from different things. But I'm just saying, being a friend and witnessing certain things, and even certain depressions that she couldn't like come out of, no matter how much I would pray with her, no matter how much I would try to be there and support her, she just couldn't, for whatever reason, come out of that. It was almost like she had to make that decision. But it's very traumatic to witness certain things from someone you love. Because you may not understand it and all that kind of stuff, but it is what it is.
It is, man. It's tough. And especially like, in the Black community, especially, it's just really hard to have like serious conversations about your mental health, your mental well-being.
Yeah.
If you suggest anything like therapy, it's usually taken as an insult, never like as solid, functional advice. It's just like,
right,
you try to say something, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always just that defense. Like, it's so taboo.
Or it's like, go pray. You need to go pray. Just go pray about it.
So
go
taboo.
Go to God.
It's so taboo, and it shouldn't be like that. It's sad because it's better to do something than to like just keep ignoring your problems, thinking it's going to go away and you're just going to magically be more happy with your life. And it's just like, that's just not how things work. If you have problems, you got to put forth effort to solve them, no matter what type of problems they are. So,
and admit that you have the problem. Because so many people like to be the victim, and it's always like, these are the things that happened to me. And it's like, when you think about it, we all have had things happen to us, different variations, there's different degrees, but there's things that happen and that are going to happen, which are outside of your control. And one of the things that I will say is, though, it seems like, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but it does it seem like to you that therapy is becoming more popular?
It is for certain types of people. So it depends. Like, if you're part of the working, I hate to be like, oh, the working class and the upper corporate class or whatever that shit's called, white collar, blue collar, but that's real. So I feel like for a lot of people who are in white collar jobs and have the insurance that affords them the free therapy or the therapy at affordable cost, then yes, it's more normal. It's more part of the culture you're in. But if you try to bring that back to your other family members or friends who may not have that, it's like, I'm not spending money on therapy. I ain't paying for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's honestly like a split, and that's just how it is, especially with healthcare and how expensive it is to even receive care. You know what I'm saying? But what I can say is a lot of people are like finding alternative methods. So like meditating or doing those little apps, because you got like the Calm app, and it's way more accessible now to kind of like get your mind right. So that's a blessing. But I mean, you also have to like try to do those things. Like, you can't, like, someone either has to introduce you to that, or you have to be seeking some sort of help, so it's still just tough because some people are just so afraid to even admit, or just embarrassed to admit that they're depressed, or they may be feeling suicidal. Who can you tell that to when it's just like, you say that in a Black family, they're gonna be like, girl, suck it up. Like, what are you talking about? If you don't stop talking that crazy shit, you know what I'm saying? It's so dismissed. Not saying that happened in these cases. I don't know what happened in these cases, but I'm just saying, like, stereotypically in the Black community, suicide and especially like mental depression is like never talked about and very taboo. And it's, I don't see no real outlet to that. And that's just really in any community. Suicide is just super taboo. Like, who can you really tell that to? You know what I'm saying? So I would say the only thing I know, y'all, there is like prevention lines, suicide prevention lines. There's people you can talk to. Just find any reason possible to just know that, like, shit, I don't even know you and I care if you're alive. You know what I'm saying? I hate to hear stuff like this. So when people think that no one cares about them or no one's going to miss them, that's not true, because I can hear a story about a freaking stranger and it will break my heart. So I will care. You know what I'm saying? There's people out there that love you and care for you. And even if you don't see those people now, I guarantee you, if you keep living, they'll come into your life. And as long as you love yourself, you know what I'm saying? Your creator loves you, whatever you believe in, regardless. You know what I'm saying? There's love for you, period. So I just hope people, you know, can find it in them who are struggling with that to just, you know, hold on and just take it day by day, because I'm a strong believer that anything can change like in an instant. So you can go from, you know, your worst life ever to your best life ever in a freaking week. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. So just try to remain hopeful.
I do want to put out there too, if I saw this earlier and I screenshotted it because I was going to put it on my page, and it says, if you know someone who needs help, please call 1-800-273-TALK or text strength to 741-741. Also, I know at my last job they had a campaign going on where you could, like, I don't know, at this point you may have to Google, but like free hotline type methods and phone numbers and things like that. It is very much definitely a cost that's associated to going to a therapist or even virtual appointments, things like that. But you know, they are trying, I think that we are trying to, I'd hope as a society, trying to make as many available resources as possible to people who need them and who are willing and open to the idea. So maybe do some research if that's something that you even are open to doing, if you have never been to a therapist or even considered it. Excuse me. But yeah, so it's also just sad. It's just all very sad. So I don't even know how to pivot from this into something else.
God bless everybody. Just
God bless everybody.
We love you guys.
More healing.
We love everybody.
Love everybody.
Yeah, I don't want to end on such a sad note, so let's lighten it up just a bit. Have you heard everyone talking about this Janet Jackson documentary?
I have. I actually want to watch it.
Okay, me too, but I don't know where is this being watched, because I can't figure it out.
Let's see.
I just heard everybody talking about it, but I haven't seen anyone like post like where it's, you know, what they're talking about. But apparently Janet Jackson dropped some tea about,
it's a 2-part documentary, 2 nights, a Lifetime.
Oh, I could see that. Okay, makes a lot of sense. Lifetime. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, it's on Lifetime, because I saw some people watching on their computer on my stories, streaming it. Just trying to make sure it's on it's on Lifetime. It says.
Okay. That makes sense.
On Lifetime.
That makes
so sense. Somebody was like, I mean, if Janet, I think Funky Dineva said this. He was like, I mean, what? Who cheated on Janet? Y'all just need to get ready. Y'all need to go home, look at your man, and just be like, you know what? I already know you're gonna cheat on me. I already know. Just go on ahead and tell me when you gonna do it, or if you have done it, because this Negro Jermaine cheated on Janet. And if so, he named another reference. If so-and-so can cheat on this person, and I'm thinking, like, we all know that it does not matter what you
like. I was a little bit confused
it was Jay-Z and Beyonce. If Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, we just throw your hands up now, ladies, because your man gonna cheat. It's like,
I was a bit confused by everyone's surprise. Like, I'm like, why are y'all so shocked by that?
I think too, there was a big surprise from the idea that probably Jermaine is not
attractive.
I think that
is Jay-Z attractive like that?
I mean, but that's totally
Jay-Z has been getting jokes of not being attractive like his whole time with Beyonce. And the only thing is that he's a boss, he's rich. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine Dupri is rich and a boss in his own right. So it makes sense. It's that power dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, Jay-Z fine to me.
Oh, okay, girl.
He's fine to me. He fine to me. He fine to me. Now, Jay-Z, now, and I'm talking about like, excuse me, miss era.
Oh,
Jay-Z.
I will tell you, I feel like
Jermaine is by no means back in the day. He was never fine. Now he's never fine. And probably the next 30 years, he would never. And he actually follows me on social media, and I still am like, he's not. He just don't have no. He's just not. And I don't know if it's. I don't know. Money. There's no amount of money that would make him. I don't even. I feel bad for saying that. But
girl, this could be your future client.
Yes, Jay-Z or Jermaine. He seems like a very nice man, and he is very talented. But Jay-Z, and again, this is for me the excuse me, miss era.
Excuse me, miss. What's your name? Oh, Jay-Z got some hits. Okay.
He got hits, but that's swag, maybe in that time period for me. Like what he doing now with these 3 locks, one going up, one going this way, another coming out. I don't know what that is.
You know what's funny to me though? I find Jay-Z more attractive now than he was back then. I do.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's how much I be liking people's vibe because I feel like he has a totally different vibe now. Like he's so like he just has a realer vibe now. Like maybe it's the locks, maybe it's the family man thing.
He's just older. He's more.
He seems way more. He's
more probably just. I don't know, more chill.
It's an it factor there. He's got it now. I don't know. I mean, he had it then, but he handled himself very well too when he got his ass kicked by Solange. That's admirable for a man.
Admirable
to just stand there and get beat up and take it.
That was very interesting. That was an interesting time. I still want to know what that audio said.
It's gonna get leaked. It's gonna get leaked. It ain't over.
I want to know what that audio said is what I want to know.
Everything comes out one of these days. It's gonna come out.
Girl.
Well, that's all I got to talk about. I don't know if you got anything else over there.
Let me just think about this.
We're doing so good. This is like, oh my God. We've been coming up here every other week for the last, 3 episodes now. I'm loving it.
Wait till we record for our birthday whenever we release where we're going there.
In a remote location. We gotta put out a bunch of videos, girl. We're gonna put out a bunch of videos. Like our YouTube, we gotta blow up our YouTube. We blowing up our Instagram. We blowing up everything.
Oh, and we should do a like I don't know. Never mind. I'll talk to you about that afterward.
Oh Lord.
No, I was thinking of like I don't even know. Oh, I mean, I don't really have to talk about this, but I do find it to be interesting. What do you think about Kanye and the girl? The girl, Julia Fox or whatever. She's
that forced.
Obviously, yes, we know he's only with her to make Kim feel some type of way. But I just am like, he loses so many cool points. She's not even cute.
Girl, are they ever really that cute? Girl, Kanye, I can't with him. Apparently, though, this lady, I'm gonna call her the lady because I don't know her, but apparently this lady got some flowers from Drake too. And I'm just like, this really upsets me and my homegirls, like for real, because it's just like Drake. I mean, you clearly have a type, brother, whether you want to admit it or not.
True.
It's like, what the hell is up with that? Because you always rapping about all these Black girls and stuff like this, and but then you always low key, it's the Caucasians that you really, really pursue, and like that's your baby mama. I don't know. It's confusing. It just really, to each his own. But it's just so interesting to me how this is really just fascinating to me how like men especially can be so immersed into Black culture and they just like, they're so Black, but then when it comes to who they want to be with, they don't want to be with nobody black. It's
Mm-hmm.
so weird because it's just like girls that are really, really black in black culture, we want to be with people black. We want to be with guys black. So it's just mind-boggling. You know, it's like, I mean,
I think we're
to each his
just
own,
getting further and further and further away from the black family.
Girl, you ain't never lied.
When a black man or a black woman comes in contact and they procreate with any other nationality, we deem them black. Like the kids, they're black, right? It's a black family. It's a black family. But
is it really though?
That's what we deem. And so, and I think for a lot of black men, as long as they get to still be able to say, I have a black family, it puts the curtain over who they choose to be with, because ultimately they know, no, these are my black kids. Like, you know, like we've talked about this before, when Tyrese married his last mother of his child, and she was like 5% or a quarter, and he was fighting on the Breakfast Club. I mean, she was even like, no, like, she was like, I'm not just black, like, I'm Filipino, I'm white, I'm like, you know, and he was on the Breakfast Club like, no, she is a quarter, she's black, like, she's a quarter black. Why is everybody saying I'm not with a black girl? I am with a black girl. She's 25% black, she's 50% black. Kevin Hart did the same thing, you know, like, I mean, what I'm saying is these men are like, yes, there's a lot to be said. I know that delusional. I know that they deal with a lot of flack, because on the other side is Barack Obama, which there had been reports on that too. Like, you know, when a black man marries someone who's half black or just even a little bit black, we don't really say we don't want to say that they're black. But then Barack Obama comes up and it's like, oh no, he's black, even though he's half white. So it's like,
but let's not act like, okay, all right. Let's not act like this is not layered, because it goes deeper than just black and not black, because it also is about the phenotype. It's about the skin complexion. If you want to be 100 about it, like Barack Obama,
want to go there,
he is mixed, but he has the phenotype and the complexion of a black man. Like it's not even just the blackness. It's the fact of y'all go for a specific type that is anti-black features or anti-black, even like history. It's something about like the black family. Y'all don't even.
They love to be like, "Are you black?" Like, you kind of almost have to ask, right? It's like, "Are you black?" Like they like that. Like, are you, like, I know you know, you don't look.
I know.
It's that. And
I hate getting
heard that, you know, it's, like, in terms of what that means.
Cringy, and you don't understand, like, and as a light-skinned black woman, you just don't, like, guys fish for that. They want you to say so bad you're mixed with some fucking exotic shit, quote unquote. So they feel like they're like, I don't know, in a fucking music video or something. I don't know. Some people's mind frames are
psychologically fucked up.
It's fucked. It's literally brainwashed. It's brainwashing to a certain extent. It's just like, y'all think that marrying outside of the traditional black families that you guys have grown up in makes you elevate in fucking class or something. It's sick. It's sickening. And a lot of the things y'all say has been carried over to these non-black women, and then they go and spread this shit to black women and make it seem like we're undesirable or whatever the case may fucking be. And it's just like, this is y'all fault. Y'all do this. You know what I'm saying? It all comes back to everybody pointing and blaming the fingers at black women and trying to, you know what I'm saying?
We're so angry. Why we can't get no man?
Why are you always talking about race?
We don't want nobody to have like that. Cause I even see it. I already know when a couple is released, I'll look at the glimpse of the comments and I'll be like, I'm waiting for the angry black woman comments on this.
Always.
You know, and it's almost like, it's just so messed up. It is almost like crazy. It's messed up for me because people act like they can't understand why or what's going on. People want to act like
they act so oblivious.
Oblivious, like what? No,
Like,
they're
oh, y'all don't
passionate,
say
like,
that when black women, because when black women marry non-black men, they don't go around spreading the gospel about how all black men should be bashed, and like it's never that. It's never that. You know what I'm saying? Like usually when for the black women that I know that have married or settled down with white men or started families with, they tried it with black men first. They tried black men first. They want black men were the first pick. And then the white people or the non-black people slid in and scooped them up because they gave up with y'all. So that's the key fucking difference. It's because when y'all do it, y'all bash black women and make it seem like, oh, I would never. And it's just like, it's something real sickening about that. Like y'all don't find that like a slave master mentality. It's crazy to me. It's just crazy.
It's crazy.
I digress.
Yeah, it's just getting crazier.
I digress because now you'd be the angry black woman. It's just like whatever.
You know,
you can have that. I just will never understand it. Like maybe because of like how I grew up and me, like I grew up growing up. I was one of very few black people in my school. You know what I'm saying? One of like 5 black people in the whole elementary school. And then I grow up, I'm working these corporate jobs in a corporate America. I'm one of 2-3 black people in the entire department. It's just like, if I have to live like that my whole life, feeling like the minority, why would I then want to make my household like that? Like, I want to feel comfortable in my household. I want our cultures to be one. I don't want to have to feel like I have to explain my culture or something could get misconstrued within how we both grew up because we both grew up black. You know what I'm saying? Or even with my children, I don't want my child to have to go to the white side of their family on vacation and feel like they're the only black person there and they're outcasted. Like, I know what that shit feel like. Like, I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But respect to, you know, people who feel that's the decision for them. I know love is love and everything, but like you said, the black family is just slowly disappearing. Like there's very few. There's very few.
And I'm okay with saying, you know, the whole, it's okay to say I'm mixed. Like, just like, it's almost kind of like, you know, and I get it. Society, we do make people pick a side, a sense, you know. So I'm not mixed, so I don't know what that's like, but I have had and have mixed friends who always felt like, depending on how they grew up, if it was more on the white side or more, and especially if they looked more black, they definitely could be like, yeah, I'm white. So I get there's that space of confusion for those people as well. But it's also okay to be like, you know, yeah, she's mixed. You ain't gotta just be pushing the whole agenda of like, no, I'm with a black girl, I'm with a black. It's like, yeah, you are, but especially to your point, especially the phenotype, it's the phenotype. That it's almost like if she didn't have that skin tone, she looks like a white woman. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I wouldn't really be able to tell she was mixed. But I'm just saying it's psychological. It's okay to love who you love. It's not okay to push this narrative or to push this agenda of, you know, these comments that I see. It's like, oh, I won't date someone darker than you, or you know, you black girls, y'all got all this attitude. I don't got time.
It's been a lot of that in the media lately.
Hispanics, Latina, they have attitudes just as bad. Like, people just love to just say, well, you black girls, y'all do this, y'all got fake hair, fake this, fake this. And it's like, well, the girls who have real bodies or real hair that are black women or real this or real that, y'all got a problem with that too.
Girl, they got a problem with everything black women do. I'm just gonna put that out there because it's never this major outlash until black women start doing it. That's it. Because when white women been doing fusions and all types of extensions and shit for $700, oh, y'all don't talk about that I could see her fucking fusions coming out with her blonde hair. Like, they've been wearing fusions since fucking 2001. So don't sit up here now because black women have made it trendy to wear wigs and stuff. Now y'all want to talk shit. But when white women were doing it, I didn't remember that backlash or that outlash. Same shit going with BBLs and shit, because everybody now is outlashing like, oh, the plastic surgery, the build-a-bodies, but it's like, y'all only are so offended by this now because Black women are doing it. Because when white women was getting BBLs and boob jobs out the ass, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody said, oh my gosh, they hate themselves. They got a boob job when they were 17 and they hate themselves and they're ruining their lives and their bodies. Y'all didn't say shit about that. It's only when Black women started to do shit, y'all feel like y'all have to police everything a Black woman does and use it against her. It's society is sickening. Like sickening. Malcolm X said that shit right when he was like, the Black woman is the most disrespected person in this fucking society. And it's true. Like, we can't do shit. We can't do shit.
We can't do shit from the Black men. We can't do shit from corporate. We can't do like,
don't even mention
I
corporate.
personally feel like, yes, Black men, they have it hard, but Black women who are not supported by our Black men, and I'm not saying all, I'm just saying, you know, it's no secret that we could have more support from our Black men when it comes to a lot of the issues and daily things that we deal with as Black women. Period.
Exactly. It's like we get no support, damn near. It's like no support, no defense. Like, it's sick. Keep talking, Mia. I'm just plugging up.
But yeah, yeah, so I just,
y'all, she on her phone. That's why she keeps saying She's that person that be like, go ahead, girl, I'm listening, and she ain't listening.
Yeah, no, but I just I don't know. It's interesting to witness and to be around. But I just live my own little corner, girl. Because there are a lot of Black men that marry a lot of Black women, and when I say Black women, they're full Black. There are Black. So I also want to highlight that too.
There are some.
And it's almost kind of like, and I don't know if it's social media. It is. And I don't know if it's social media, or it's the pages that I follow, but I'm seeing more and more of it. Like, I'm seeing more and more just support of Black love and more couples that are I'm seeing more marriages, more families. Now, again, I think it's maybe just the pages that I follow, but I also am very intentional about that too, because I do follow some ratchet. I do follow a little bit of ratchet, but I also make sure that I'm following things that coincide with what I want to see. And I just love to be able to see all this with the marrying and the marriages. It's like you said, it's admirable. And even if you don't get married, just the people that are creating families with Black women, or just the togetherness of the units. I'm loving to see it all. I really am. My thing is saturated. Let's blow it up. Let's make it everywhere. Billboards, everything. Because we can't have enough of that. Jews, every other nationality praises and celebrates their nationalities. They love to stick together. They love, they love to do that. Even white people love to be with a white. They still love that too. They love that. Shit.
I know. It's just the white women that's fucking it up for them. It's like,
girl,
everybody, Black culture's in right now. That's all I'm gonna say. It's in right now. Like,
everybody wants to be Black until it's time to be Black. Put it that way. They love the culture.
Yeah.
They love the culture. They love to replicate. They love the lips. They love the features. They love to mimic. But when it's time to take a stance and to be Black and be on the front line, and you know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, let me just put up a tweet. Let me just do the bare minimum, even though you got Black kids now. let me just do it from back here because I ain't trying to, it's like real weird. But
all I can say is my grandma said it a long time ago. She was like, a fad will always come and it'll always go and it'll always come again. And this trend of blackness, like, it'll be out. Like, I hope it lasts long, but it's just a fad. I mean, it's just like human nature. Like, things come in and things go out, it's just fads and cycles and what's popular at the moment. And we'll see what sticks.
I think excuse me. I feel like they're trying to erase the Black culture.
Girl, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like,
when I say that, I'm saying
the new Black culture.
The new Black culture.
They're
so
rewriting history.
More of other people that have the Black stuff. So you've got the lip, you've got the body, you've got the melanated, tan. You've got all of these different just things where it's like you look like a whole Black woman. And I feel like we're moving more and more to that's Black, or that's more. It's always been more in.
Yeah. But that's just for as long as that is popular. I just feel personally that everything comes in style and everything goes out of style. So like all these like heavy tans and the baby hairs and the black culture, the lip, all that shit can be. We're still gonna be Black 20 years from now. When if the shit's popular or not, we're still gonna be doing our Black things. You know what I'm saying? But 20 years from now, it may not be popular for white women to have long nails and you know what I'm saying, to be wearing wigs and it just may not be popular. You know what I'm saying? To even be on hip hop. Shit, hip hop could go out of style for all we know. You know what I'm saying?
And this is why I just listen to the same 20 songs from back in the day. Like, you get in my car, you gonna get some Joe, you gonna get some Avant, you gonna get some Adele Jones, you gonna get some Tank, you gonna get some
Genuine.
Girl, and on my rap list, you gonna get some Tupac, you gonna get some Webby, you gonna get some Juvenile. You gonna it's stuff that ain't even, it ain't no new. I guess it ain't no new stuff unless it's like, Young Dolph and certain bops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain people.
I keep my ear to the new shit, but I always go back to the old shit.
What's always gonna be just repeated is always my old stuff. Like you said, I'll have my ear to the street, so you be like, okay, it's a bop, okay, but that's about as far as I take it, because I'm always gonna go back, and I'm really gonna go back to the Isley. I'm really gonna take my ass back to Isley. But yeah, so we'll, like you said, everything comes in and everything goes. I did want to say that I don't think we talked about this on the last show about Ryan Destiny and Keith Towers.
Oh yeah, they should have been added to our breakup segment.
That because it came out after, and so it's.
I love them too. They're so cute.
I liked them. I really liked them. And there's not even a whole lot of couples that I just really even be like, oh my God, like I just don't do that much. So and it seems like everybody that I did do that over, they're just coming to the light as breakups. So it's like
it's a lot of new phases happening, single people getting in relationships, relationship people getting single now. Making good,
acting single, married people acting more single than the single, more available singles.
It's crazy out here. Anything can happen right now. Anything goes.
Shout out to Mercury retrograde. I think today was the last day.
I could see that.
Yeah, I think today was the last day. They said the new year ends up coinciding with the Chinese New Year. I think February 1st or something like that. New something, girl. I don't even know. But they were like, expect new possibilities, new beginnings, great things.
I feel it.
If you survive this retrograde, be in expectance. And so I feel it. I'm like this. Give me Pay me what you owe me. Like, give it all to me. Because I just am a magnet. Like, you know, girl, adore me, universe, at this point.
Yeah. We've been getting adorned, shit.
Girl,
mm-hmm.
They've been falling in. So that's all I got. That's all I got, you know.
Okay, girl, me too.
That's all I got. I thought I had something else for him, but I think that was pretty much
talked about
it.
A lot.
We did. Did Portia and whatchamacallit, did that end?
Girl, yeah, I won't talk about her no more.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure
think
if it
was
ended.
over.
I didn't know if I saw like the last episode or if it was
yeah, it's just over. I think
okay.
It's just that was such a silly series. It was just silly. It was just crazy. Nothing happened really. Her and Dennis arguing about the baby.
Oh, okay.
And then it just ended.
Okay. So. Yeah. Okay.
To be continued. I saw she with her man in Costa Rica. Her man Simon.
With a new pulling up in a new what you call it? Rolls Royce. So you know,
she was living her best life, honey.
Living her best life. Happy for everybody ain't able.
She better soak it up.
Shout out to
No, I said she better soak it up. She better soak it up.
Again, everything that starts has an ending, and I'm not saying they're gonna end, but live it up. You know, while you're in it, be present, live it up. Shout out to, you sent me a message today, Ladies Who List Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to that show. Love those girls. And I think they're gonna do really well this season. I think that
they promoting the hell out of that show.
They're what?
They're promoting the hell out of it because it just popped up on my YouTube timeline. Like I didn't even search for it or nothing. I never even heard of it. They just like popped up, and I seen a bunch of comments like, "Oh my God, I'm about to get into this show." So
yeah,
a lot of people seem to have liked it.
It's a good show. It's a good show. I'm just happy to see real estate on TV for Black people.
Black ownership.
Because I don't know any other show that's had an all Black cast, you know, for real estate.
I thought that other Black show on Netflix, they just dropped another Black.
Selling Tampa.
It's pretty trendy right now, the Black real estate shows.
Yep, those are the only two. And I'm just happy that we have those, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I didn't know anything prior to that because I was always watching Selling Sunset. I watched, Millionaire Matchmaker.
I've never seen any of those shows.
What's the other one? Not Millionaire Matchmaker. What was it? With my guy Frederick.
But what I like about
listing, $1 million listing
about this show is like it doesn't seem too. It has a nice balance. Like it's not too much drama, and it still has like, a lot of real estate. Like I mean, it's drama, but I even like the type of drama. Like some of the drama is about like the contracts and like how somebody had like signed something. Like it's real, like in relation to the real estate industry. It's not just like petty, like. Well, I haven't seen the petty part yet, but I like that it's all within the realm of the real estate world. Like these little quarrels they're having, like about contracts, and the girl was supposed to split the commission with her or some shit. Like that's some real stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's like the only argument that's about real estate. The other arguments are petty.
Okay, I'm only on episode 1, so
yeah, keep watching. I'm not gonna bad talk. Even if I didn't like it, I still wouldn't really bad talk it just because I know people don't have control over editing. And now that I am in real estate, no, what I'm saying is even with Selling Tampa, it's 30 minutes of 8 episodes, and people have been comparing that show to, these white shows that have been on air for 5, 6, 7 years, and they're in California, they're in New York. It's freaking Tampa. It is not a luxury market. This is a brokerage that's new. It's like, they're tapping into a luxury market. So usually with your first seasons, you have the introduction of the characters. You're kind of setting it up.
What has been said? I'm missing it. What happened?
So DJ Envy came out and said for Selling Tampa, he made reference to, selling Sunset versus Selling Tampa. And he was making reference to the editing. However, a lot of people took it like he was bashing Selling Tampa, but he was like, Selling Sunset, they're always talking about homes. They're selling homes. Selling Tampa, no homes are being sold. And he was like, he was like kind of embarrassing. And so
he wrote kind of embarrassing. He said that
he wrote all that was part of the cap, all of that. And it was a little bit more into that too, but
I kind of see where he's coming from. Because
regardless of like that, all of his comment, he's entitled to his opinion. A lot of people took up for the show, and then you had a lot of people that agreed with it. But all in all, one thing that we know is that they're not in control of the editing. Two, for them to even have a show, they obviously have had to have sold to even have attention and light onto their brokerage. Hopefully, my whole thoughts when people came to me and asked me about what my opinion was simply, let's have the feedback. Hopefully production and editing sees all the comments and they see that like, hey, we'd love to see more selling. We love, because they did sell a few homes on Selling Tampa.
Yeah, for me,
they
that
sold
sounds
some
like
multi-million.
They sold for them. Like, were they mad at him for that? Or I'm just trying to get the story because I don't know the background.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were, it was a big thing. Like, well, maybe because I'm in real estate, so I paid more attention to it.
I've only seen one episode of that show too. And I can tell you just from off of the first episodes, like I'm more into the Atlanta show because it's more of a balance with the actual real estate. I can tell you that because when I first started watching the Selling Tampa, I was like, hold up, what's going on here? Because it immediately jumped in like all this drama. And I'm just like, what? Like, I was just lost a little bit. So I can see why he would say that because this, but to me, I don't know if they got mad at him for that, but to me, it sounds like he was trying to like, honestly take up for them. Like maybe let production know that they weren't being represented in the best light.
Yeah. I mean, he cleaned it up. He came back and then reiterated his point. But I think anytime you come out with a negative, instead of being like, yo, this was a great show, it's a great opportunity. I think probably should have happened though, because it's kind of whack for production to say, it was almost implied that he was saying production. So for people who kind of, it went over their head and they just took it as, because it was.
He was blaming the ladies.
You come out with a negative. You just come out with a negative, regardless of who you're blaming it on. He didn't say production. He basically made a negative point, and you kind of had to read between context clues. Yeah. I don't know too many bright people who have time to read in between context clues, because people in the real world, they'll take a headline and run with it. They won't go beyond, or they won't watch the full clip. So it's not out of the ordinary for the majority of people to jump against him. But then you also had a lot of people that were like, oh, what? No, I see what he was saying, because
I do see what he was saying. And it's kind of unfortunate because like when they have these Black shows, even if it is about real estate, they make the drama.
They just bash it before it even gets off the ground. And again,
no, I don't agree with that. But I mean, I understand your point of view. I mean,
I absolutely
it's
do.
your point of view. So
from a lot of the comments that I saw, it was a lot of negative connotations, and most of it was around, well, I thought these girls were going to be selling. And in my
I don't think that's bashing. That's like real criticism. And that to me is like, they want to see y'all selling. Like that should be a good thing.
But it's not their fault. You know? My thing is, it
don't matter whose fault it is, but it's like feedback. If you want me to consume the show, you know what I'm saying, and at least even have a chance of second season, why would you not want honest feedback so that y'all can improve this show? So people, you know what I'm saying? Or more, you know,
I think
you
that
want those
feedback
views
is
to go
one thing,
up.
but people were bashing the character. Like, people were bashing the characters as well. Put it this way. I think this is my whole thing about it. Because like I said, I've had people come to me and ask me my opinion. I've had a ton of people ask me for my opinion on both shows. Obviously, for Ladies Who List Atlanta, I have a connection to the show because I know a few of the girls, and one of them happens to be my mentor. But the other side of it is like this. I don't care what reality TV show that I watch. Very little has to do with the actual anything. Real Housewives. There's a lot of women who've never been married, not a housewife, side chick. Like, it has little to do with the actual title, basketball wives. There was probably 3 basketball wives. Like, there's drama. In my mind, I'm always thinking with reality TV, it's going to be drama. It's going to be some type of entertainment, some type of drama. So specifically, when I see a all black cast or all black show I've never seen it. I love real estate shows. I love all real estate shows pretty much. I've always watched even House Hunters from way back when, Trading Spaces. Like, love real estate, love interior design. I've just never seen an all black cast, and I'm okay with feedback. No, you're not going to get positive everything from anybody. It just was a lot of overwhelming negative comments. And my whole thing was, let's give it one more, let's just make it to another season. Let's say the feedback, right? Hopefully the people who can actually do something about it, because the cast is saying, hey, we filmed actual closings. We filmed actual us going out. Matter of fact, if you watch more episodes, they are doing showings. They did have a few closings, multi-million-dollar closings, but people only got to
me that's even more of a reason why they should be called out. Like, if they film that shit and these production companies choose not to show that, and there's a white show to compare it to, that, I mean, that's where the disparity lies, because like, it's the same thing with Atlanta Housewives and then Housewives of Beverly Hills. They're going to compare those shows. They compare how Andy treats the ladies on Atlanta versus how he treats the white franchises. So it's just like, that's a natural comparison. If you have this other Selling Sunset and then now you got this new Selling Tampa, people are going to compare those two shows. And if the theme
of course, but you can't compare Tampa season 1 to 8 seasons. You can't do it.
So going back, who says that season 1 of Selling Sunset wasn't a lot different than season 1 of Selling Tampa? That's what I'm saying. If it was filmed in the same exact way and Selling Sunset was heavily drama based and they never showed closings on the very first season, then yes, I can understand that. But if Selling Sunset was showing closings and all this stuff and drama was very a little bit of that of the theme, then that's fucked up to have it totally reversed for the black version. They both need to follow the same format. That's all I'm saying. I don't really know, because I don't watch neither.
All I'm saying is I just don't think people should attack the characters. Like, when somebody says, people can have their opinions.
What did they say about the characters? If they feel like a show, because I don't know the background like you. I don't watch these shows.
What I'm saying is that if you feel like a show, I don't necessarily know if somebody should come out, and people can have their opinion. So this is just me thinking out loud, and from what people have come and told me, it's like, oh, the show's trash. Why is it trash? Like, the show was actually well put together. The production was good in terms of like how they showcased the women, the drama. There was no cussing, there was no fighting, there was no beating each other up. Like, I can't say it was trash. Now, your level of expectation may be different, which that's fine, because it's like, okay, I thought that they would be doing this. Hopefully, and all my thing was saying is, with the feedback that's being presented, hopefully the people who actually can do something about it, which is production, hopefully they do something about it. But you can't just slander the actual characters.
Okay, that's why I keep asking you. Do you have any example of what was said about the castmates? Because
that people like they're saying it's trash. Like, the broker, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's not selling luxury. She's not doing this. It's like, if you don't know what luxury is in terms of the market, California, New York, they're totally different markets than Atlanta or a Tampa or a Texas. Like it just off of luxury in general, like these ladies aren't luxury. One girl did da 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 da, and it's like, damn, can they just get to a second season just to like, this is just an introduction to who these people even are. It's a brand new brokerage. She's now breaking into luxury, which has never been done. And here's my, and really, I don't even want to get on the show as much as in real life, how many of us Black people actually even use a Black realtor? Rarely happens. I'm just telling you, it rarely happens. In my personal experience, I have represented people of color who are buying from someone of color in the hood, in these gentrified cities, these TSU, historically Black, older, they are represented by all white people. One situation that I had in particular was of a person who, it just so happened my client knew the lady who he was buying from because he grew up with her son. However, she was represented by a white person. She did not know that he had representation, which was me. So originally when she felt like she didn't have representation, okay, let's get the deal done. Let's this, she thought she was gonna get both commissions. As soon as he was like, no, my realtor, da da da. Now it's like, oh, well, we have to wait. I don't know if my client is gonna be, mind you, this is an 80-year-old Black woman. So she was gonna pretty much sabotage a deal because you thought, because of your own assumption, again, our job as realtors is to have our best interest of our clients. So just from a broader perspective, let's just take it off of the show, and I don't go real deep, but I'm just saying, like, we have so much to say, but when it comes down to real life, a lot of us deem white as better. I have a girlfriend who sells multi-million-dollar houses. This is my brokerage. She sells to white people. White people hire her, athletes, all the things. Some of her best friends went to TSU. They now are blown up in TSU, blah, blah, blah. Do they hire her? No, they hire the white people. But they'll be like, girl, they'll still ask her questions. You know, would she be wrong? Be like, no, ask the realtor. So how many of us, we love to tear it down or give our feedback on feedback on feedback. But when you think about the reality of real estate and just the whole idea about us even being able to buy a house anyway, as Black people, just in general, it was only like, what, 60 years ago where we could even own something, 50 something, 60 years ago. Fast forward, we have all these white shows, you know, which they get critiqued too. I'm not saying these two shows are above criticism. I don't really care, right? I don't care about that. You have your opinion. But when you've never seen it, and we just get one opportunity, maybe two, like, it's just nice to be like, damn, like, you know, like, we knew it was gonna be some bullshit, right, in the beginning, because it's reality TV. But it just felt like with the slander, regardless whether it's production, whatever, it felt like it's almost like a complete teardown before it even got off the ground. That's all I'm saying. And again, it's not to say that people can't have their opinion. I don't really care either way. I'm just happy to see it on TV, just to even be like, damn, that's crazy that they said that or got into it or did this or did that. Like, I just like to see it because I watch all other types of bullshit TV and not bullshit TV. So that's my whole thing. Like, you know, Envy, is your realtor Black? You know, do you use Black realtor? Like, let's start there, because a lot of us just don't. We just don't. That's something that me and a lot of my realtor friends, we have lots of conversations about that. Like, how is it that all these people, especially in the hood, you know, where you would think that, you know, I don't know if it's because we feel like maybe Black having someone, you know, white is better, or I don't really know. I mean, I do know, because I know a lot of us, sometimes people use, even outside of realtors, you go to white dentists, you go to white doctors, some people, they deem white businesses as better. They deem them as more professional. They deem them as more, you know, so I get that too. But it's just one of those things. feels like people just want to tear it down before it even got a chance to really take off. It's the first season, you know? So feedback, comments, criticism, all I'm saying is hopefully the people that actually can make a change to the show will highlight what the people are saying they want to see more of, because the characters definitely felt attacked. And hell, even Ladies Who List Atlanta, my mentor, Kiana, she came out today with a whole video. And she's like, I've been seeing it. Y'all saying y'all want to see more real estate. Y'all want to see more businesses. She's like, I have 4, 5, 6, 7 businesses that I'm running. I cannot dictate how they choose and what they choose to show. And she just said it today. She just had a whole video on it. She's like, I mean, we filmed it. She's like, we filmed it. We filmed the closings. We filmed the real estate. But what they wanted to focus on and what they wanted to show. And she's like, now that they've shown it, I'm on here to talk to you guys about the bullshit, because that is part of the show. So I just think people are going to get whatever production shows. And hopefully, you know, if there is a season 2, if people want to support it to even make it to a season 2, my God, I hope we do. You know, all these other white shows, they don't give a shit what they show, you know. Hopefully they make it to a season 2 with this real estate stuff, because like I said, it's never been done before. So
right,
I just want the attention to be more so on like you said, criticism that actually can maybe help the show make it to a season 2 or change the direction. But
right, and that's
there
just
have been,
right. Go ahead.
Yeah, but there have been comments, a lot of comments, to where the actual characters have felt the need to speak out and defend themselves, not even production, just defend themselves because of the way people were coming at them. So
Of course. And that is to be said about reality television,
right.
Period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No matter what, you know, and
that's
I know
why I was like,
but
it's
my
reality
thing is,
TV.
Right. But just like, I mean, you have close personal ties to this topic, you know what I'm saying? So the real estate agents, the topic of realty, all of that, you're very closely tied to it. Now, if this was any other show, any other reality show, whatever, we would just throw out our honest opinions about the first season, like we did, like Portia, this show ain't it, it's trash. You know what I'm saying? So I get it that because it's honestly like you feel so connected to the show that you may not want to hear stuff like that, but we give our opinions
close to it. It has everything to do with it's never been seen before. We've seen Love and Hip Hop. We've seen Housewives. We've seen a Portia show before.
Absolutely. But my thing, me personally, I mean, my thing is, in order for us to continue to see these things, we got to know what's going to keep people watching. So
drama.
Me personally, okay, let me just finish. Let me just get my little sentence out. Okay. So me personally, after hearing everything you have said, the thing you're most upset about is them putting the blame on the characters as opposed to the production. But my thing is, a lot of these characters have already spoken out saying, hey, we filmed this stuff, y'all. We filmed it and they're not showing it. Don't come at us. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, damn, y'all, as castmates, if I can't publicly protest with the production company, I want the audience to protest for me. Like, show the closings, show the shit that y'all aren't showing. And I'm going to take it as y'all got our back. You know what I'm saying? Because either you make some friction or you don't. It's better for people to be complaining about it so that they have a chance to improve for next season than people to turn the channel and never talk about it again and be like, this ain't it. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, if I had a brand new show, a brand new pilot, I want to know what's going to make more people watch next season. So whether it hurts my feelings or not, I want to know what the audience wants to see. And if the audience feels like they're lacking in the area of actually seeing closings, then that needs to be said. And I would rather that come out first season or not, because shit, if it bombs the first season, ain't gonna be no second season. So it's better for at least people to be talking about it. So now production knows why maybe the numbers have dropped or what they got to do so that if they renew it, more people are going to watch it and be more satisfied with it. So it's just like, I get what you're saying. Like, it's a Black show, give us some grace, but it's also just like, it's a Black show. So we should be able to have the input there, because we don't really get the input on these other white shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't care what we think about these white shows. So at least for the Black shows, let us give our 2 cents about it. And then maybe you guys can adjust so that we want to watch it more, because I would prefer people to at least say what's on their mind, and at least we can improve than just turn the channel. You know what I'm saying? And then ratings tank.
I'm not saying that anything's wrong with constructive criticism. What I'm saying is that I just would hope that people will give it a chance so that it can see a second season. Like, share your feedback, but without just tearing the show down completely. Like, this is just absolute garbage, trash. Oh, I can't. I mean, all these other white shows, they're so much better because of this. It's like, let it show first season, say the feedback. Hopefully it gets another second season. Right. And then maybe blah, 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 blah. It just seemed as though from the responses of the characters, they did not take that feedback as like, oh my God, thank you. Like, hopefully we'll get, it was like they had to defend themselves. Yeah.
But what they're saying to me gives the people more ammunition to go harder. Like, if you tell me, y'all, it's not on me, we filmed the scenes, we filmed the contract, they're not showing it, then to me, I'm like, hell no, why y'all not showing that shit? Like, something ain't right here, you know? Yeah, so if that's your
people
response,
like drama, but people also, we can't negate that also people like drama, which is, for me, I don't know too many shows that don't show drama when it comes to reality TV with the Black community.
But it's like, it's about a balance. With a show like this, is really about balance. And I just felt like
they didn't have all drama. It wasn't no balance. Tampa. Yeah,
I don't know. Tampa, I can tell a distinct difference from the Atlanta show and the Tampa show. And the Tampa show to me just got immediately into a bunch of messy shit that like had already happened, and like it was no real intro to like the real estate thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of just hopped into drama. So I didn't continue to watch it. So I don't know.
Both of them have drama. I get you're saying your perspective on it, but if you keep watching Ladies Who Live in Atlanta,
I only watched the pilot episodes of each. Yeah. And I could tell from the pilot, it was a little bit more actual real estate talk and contract talk on the Atlanta show. Like, they actually spoke of like specific contracts and like arguments that happened about that. So just from the pilot episode, it had a different tone overall. But I'm happy both of the shows are out. All it's going to do is open more doors for all types of Black realtors shows in all different cities.
Hopefully.
Absolutely. It will be a franchise, because it's not about, it's just the formula. Once you get the formula, this specific city may not be the hit, but imagine if Atlanta Housewives just never got to Atlanta and they just stopped at Beverly Hills. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to just franchise it out and do different cities and see what hits. That's just what's going to happen. Yeah. So,
I mean, like I said, I regardless of how I feel about it, I'm just happy to see both of them. Both of these, Selling Tampa is an all Black brokerage headed by a Black woman. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
On the other,
there's a lot of Black things on TV.
Regardless of a contract, like I said, there's no cussing, ain't nobody's pulling no hair, ain't nobody. I saw some closings, I saw some showings, and I also saw some drama. So it's something more I can handle than a Love and Hip Hop for me. Yeah, that's more what I can handle. So I'm just happy to see it on TV. I'm just happy to even see it, know it exists. That's it. I mean, beyond that, in terms of like, I want to see contracts being signed. I want to see more conversation about blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just happy to see these young women have an opportunity to share their businesses, what they've got going on. And in the midst of that, with a sprinkle of drama. If the sprinkle ends up being more based on editing, well, then that's just on them. For me, I'm just happy to see that the shows even exist.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good for them. I mean, it's a lot of Black TV shows out right now. We're in a very good time. So, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if a bunch of those other shows pop up all over Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis, shit. Who knows? Just all the Black cities across the fucking world, probably.
For sure.
I just watched the Power Book 2 last night, and it's just like,
is that with Tommy, or is that
this is the one with Tariq in the second chapter, and Mary J. Blige, and
okay. Is it good?
It's so good.
I need to watch it.
So
I need to watch it.
Good. It's gotten way better than what it was. Like, it's way really better. Good. I'm on the edge of my seat. It's giving me old Power vibes. It's fucking good. And then Tommy's new show comes out next week, so I'm really excited about that. And then after that, I think the week after that, there's Snowfall that will be coming back. So it's a bunch of good.
Oh yeah, it comes out in February, right?
Yep, and we are about to be in February. January just flew by.
No, it did not.
It flew by to me, girl. I feel like I was just saying Happy New Year.
I'm like, oh my God, we are still in January. Like, I'm okay with it, but I'm just like,
that's crazy. I feel like we was just sitting here like last weekend, and I was like, I have no New Year's Eve plans, and you was like all tipsy, and I feel like that was just like last weekend.
Girl, I feel like I've survived like 8 lives in January, but I've had a crazy January. My January's gone literally like this. So and I look up and I'm like, oh God, tomorrow is still January. So yeah, I mean, typically months go by really fast for me, and I'm okay that they go slow, because actually I need this time.
Enjoy it, girl.
And I also feel like, though, I'm living more in the present than I ever have before. I'm always either thinking about the past, planning the future, and not being present in my present. Like, that's been one of the hardest things for me to intentionally, practice. Therefore, because I'm always planning my future, my year goes by so much faster, because I'm always looking for the next, like, it's like, oh my God, Valentine's, oh my God, my anniversary, oh my God, my birthday, oh my God, Easter.
That's like, that's so weird that you're sitting in the present, but it's making time go by slower.
It does. It makes me, because I'm
crazy.
Because when I plan for the future, when I say plan for the future, I'm like, in my mind, it's like I'm rushing for the next thing. So I don't know if it's just the way, your mind is powerful in general, but because I'm more intentional about being still and being present and being aware of like where I'm at, smelling the roses, it's really given me time to just sit and not even think about what's to come. Like, I may not even make it tomorrow. Like, I may not even, so it's like, I want to make sure that I have everything I want to make sure I have everything that because when I really, and I don't mean to get too deep because I know we're wrapping up, but when I really think about things, and this is one of the things that's helped me in therapy, it's like, when I think about where just this time last year, I would, knowing where I sit now is like a dream come true in my mind. You know what I mean? But if I'm planning ahead, I'm not realizing the blessing that I'm sitting in, because I'm like, nobody cares about what I accomplished in the past. Nobody cares about what you did yesterday. Nobody cares about your sales that you had yesterday or last year or last month. They don't care about what you're about to do, because that hasn't happened yet. They care about what you're going to do today. Like, what can you do for me today? What problem can you solve for me today? Like, so it's just been an intentional practice for me to be present. I know
that's great. That's the exact opposite for me. If I'm present, that time gonna fly the fuck by.
Really?
Like, yes. Yeah. Like, if I'm like just enjoying a moment, it's like, it's like I'm trying to hold on to the moment, because it's gonna
hold on
by. Like, it flies by.
Yeah.
It flies fucking by.
And even with my son, or like my son, or people that I care about, it's like I'm having to be intentional about it, but like, because my mind is constantly on the go. Like, somebody could be saying something to me and it's really important to them, But I might be like, and then my son's like,
you do that so
Mommy,
much.
what did you
That's
just
like
say?
my pet peeve with you. You do that all the time.
I do that all the time. And so I'm literally trying to be more intentional about really being present.
You done did that at least 6 times today.
Yeah, I'm really trying to be, and it's only because my mind is constantly going, and I have like 2 phones.
So do I, girl. My mind goes, and I got 2 phones too.
2 jobs.
You gotta intentionally just listen to people husband, sometimes.
Whole kid, whole mom, like whole life. Like I just can't, and I have to realize that certain things are just gonna drop. Like, I can't be everywhere at every single moment. I can only focus on what's right in front of me. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Because what's happening is I don't want to be a shitty mom. I don't want to be a shitty wife. I don't want to be a shitty friend. I don't want to be. So it's just something I'm constantly, at least I'm aware of it. You know what I mean? I'm aware of it. Yep. And I just got to continue in that and try to get better. That's it.
That's all you can do.
That's all I can do.
That's all we all can do, girl.
That's it, girl. That's all I got.
We're headed in the right direction.
We're headed in the right direction. And every year you get better and better. Well, at least some people don't. But
wiser and wiser.
That's my plan, because some people just get older and that's it. They don't grow. That's a whole nother. That's for a whole nother day. A whole nother podcast episode.
Message.
Getting older. That's my whole fear. But,
message.
Message.
Marlon Wayne's voice. Message. Oh no, was that Marlon? I think that was Damon.
No, that was
Sean.
Yeah.
That was Sean.
Yeah.
Girl. Oh, child. Yeah, we dropped some gems on y'all this episode. Okay. This is way longer than what we thought. Way longer. It
was good though.
Yep. So you guys follow us on all of our platforms. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers on Instagram.
And YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube too. I'm going to go back to posting on YouTube. I have to be more disciplined. There's just so much going on. So much. Speaking
of, I need a password to Instagram. I had to trade my phone in. Walked out.
Yeah, girl, I'll get you caught up to speed, girl. No problem.
Okay, girl.
All right, y'all. Till next time. Let me get me caught up, okay?
Yeah, get me caught up, child. Get caught up, child. Until next time, bye.
Bye.